Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who has popped in because you are curious about what this book game is. We've got a bit lost. Welcome, everyone. I'm Chatty. This is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away madly to you about books I might read in April. So I'm going to be playing my book game, Bookworms and Book Ladders, where I choose books. I find it a lot of fun. And it's just very enjoyable for me. Very little stress. There's no punishment or anything for me not completing it or completing it. I just enjoy having a good time, and sometimes it does help me choose books I might not have picked up that particular month. I am not filming this in my usual place. I'm usually downstairs, and I've kind of like done a lot of setup of my downstairs shelves with different books, but I don't have a huge amount of time at the moment. So we're going for a quick version. I'm against the upstairs shelves because they're always bookshelves, and I'm just going to be moving the camera and putting it onto the board, which I've just got blue tacked up somewhere. So minimal set effort in this. And also because we're short of time, if you are new to the channel, and you have not seen this game before and you would like to know the rules, I will link my March book game here. So that month Chatty explained the rules, so you can go over there and look at the rules and then come back again. If you've been here many a time, or if you just like chaos and don't need to know rules and you're just going to go with it, just carry on watching from here. So on my channel, this is a very bad way of trying to get this cup. It's one continuous shot. I do not do editing for my long videos. So we're going to embrace chaos. Hopefully I won't screw up the pause button because I can use pause, which is highly helpful. So cheers everyone. Clink, 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 clink. So in the month of April, I am going to be taking part into readathons. So I have got some of the themes are around readathons. So my book colours this month are... There's my notebook. So pink is going to be the 30-second prompt. I have got the timer primed and ready here. I am very nervous. For yellow, I'm going to do a trans readathon spin. So I am going to, all of these different symbols will be linked to different either fiction, non-fiction, or author who is non-binary, trans man or trans woman, and then one will be roll again, and that will help me decide for that one. Blue is going to be a theme card, so I have my theme cards ready here. I will be shuffling them and choosing a book based on, does the cover or the title or what I know about the book give me the possibility it might have more of a water-based theme, or it might have a theme that is more urban and city-based, that kind of thing. And then finally I have green, which is going to be class study. So this links to the other readathon I'm doing, which is the magical readathon. I have my class list here. I'm going to put the timer on for something like 5 seconds and just not look at the timer and just move my finger up and down, and when it beeps, wherever I stop, the closest one to the class that I'm taking, I will then choose a book for that. Some of them I have already got set in stone, others I haven't. So we will see what happens there. So we're now going to move over to the board and I'm going to do my first roll. So first level is just the 1 dice. So shake and roll, and it's gone on the floor and it is a 6. And I'm going to go straight in with whatever gets me a ladder. So not that one, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay. So I'm coming out blue and I'm going anti-clockwise. So that is going to be the position we go for the rest of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a lucky ladder. So I have my lucky ladder cards. I am shuffling them. I am going to choose this one. And this one is upside down. And I can't read it in the camera, so I'm just going to turn it. Is there a new series you want to start or a series you want to continue? I think I'm going to put my one of my buddy reads on here. So I'm going to pick a middle grade, and it's a buddy read that I'm doing with Tallia from Vadania Bookwarm and Kelli from Kellireadsalot, and that book is Pages & Co by Anna James. The first book is called Tilly and the Bookwanderers. And I don't know a huge amount about this other than the protagonist is called Tilly. She lives in a family bookshop, and at some point she works out that some of the characters from books can come out the books and she can go into them. And that's all I know. It's got books, it's got a portal fantasy type of situation, and I'm very excited about it. It just sounds so cozy, so delightful. I have been wanting to start this series for a really long time, and finally it seems like the right time to do it. So I'm very excited about this one, and I just have to show you the hardcover because it is gorgeous. So if I take off the jacket, underneath we have all of these pages and different characters and different objects from all these different books. So it says, a bookshop is like a map of the world. Wonder, magic, and we've got teapot, cake, books, a silhouette of Anne of Green Gables. I'm not sure who this silhouette is, but he looks a little bit suspicious. A silhouette of a cat, a bowler hat, 2 more books, some random hearts and cards, and a typewriter. And it says, nonsense, mischief, adventure. Love it! Great first roll. Right, roll number 2. We are now on the first bookshelf level. So we are having 2 dice. So I'm going to roll one then the other because otherwise it's going to be very chaos. So the first one is a 4. And the second one is on the floor. Another 4. Doubles mean nothing, so that's fine. So I move anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's pink. I have no idea what's just been recording. I think I just didn't press it enough, but I've just been chatting to myself and not recording. Anyway, you 30-second prompt lovers are going to be delighted because if I have mismanaged, when I moved 8, it landed on a pink, which is the 30-second prompt. I'm gonna struggle a bit because I am confined to upstairs because it would be crazy for me to try and get downstairs and back up again in 30 minutes. So I'm hoping something will work that is in this room. And I am just going to abandon you, and you can watch the 30-second timer and hear me shouting from afar because I am scared of my camera work, of trying to take you with me, and I'd be focused so much on the camera and not thinking about the prompt. So that is what we're going to do. I've got the prompt cards. I'm going to shuffle and take one. Okay, let's shuffle and take one first, and then I'll set that up. Okay, I'm not going to look at it. So prompts, shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. I don't need to shuffle this much. I'm just going to take one. I'm just going to take that one there, put it there. Sorry, that was my Mad March hair back from his friend's house. Okay, the card is there. The timer is here. Let's try and make it. Okay. And I press start. Okay, it is an author I want more of. Okay, author I want more of. Oh. Yes. Okay, I've done. And oh, that was good, 16. Okay, so last year for Transgirl April, I read Gender Euphoria, which is an anthology of different stories from different trans authors, and it was edited and put together by Laura Kate Dale, who also had some of her own stories in there. So I want to read more from Laura Kate Dale, so I have her autobiography here. This is Uncomfortable Labels, My Life as a Gay Autistic Trans Woman. Woohoo! 2 down. Third roll. 1 on the floor, which is a 4. 2, not on the floor, which is a 2. So 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. Whoop. We have a worrying worm. I feel this is when it stops being nice. Okay. So, worrying worm cards. Shuffling. And this one is a book with the closest amount of pages to. I haven't decided what the closest amount of pages to should be. So I'm going to put some numbers out there, and I'm going to draw a number between 1 and 6, and we'll see how close I can get. Oh no, yeah, maybe I'll just pick 3 random numbers out. I'm going to pick 3 random numbers out and then find a book with those pages. Okay, let me go get some numbers. Right, we have number cards. Now, I'm not being mean to myself. First number I will be drawing out will be either I appear to not have a number 2. Well, we just don't have a number 2 because I can't deal with that right now. 3, 4 or 5 is going to be the first number because I'm not reading anything that is going to be 100 or 700 pages because that is difficult. Okay, so I have got the 5. Okay, now we check them all in. So the closest to 500 and 30, 535. Okay, let's see what I can find. Okay, I've got some of the biggest books I wouldn't mind reading this month. He is actually quite deceptive. I mean, it's big, as in the pages are very big, but actual page count, it doesn't even, it's like 360, so it's not even close to 500. He Who Drowned the World is slightly better. That kind of just comes under 500. It's 486. The Toll I haven't checked because I just remembered it. And this comes in at I think that's the end, 630. So actually the closest is He Who Drowned the World. So there we go, that's what I'm reading. Right, this is my final roll. Okay, so 1 fall on the floor, it is a 1, and the second dice is a 3, so 4. And this is going to be awkward because we're anti-clockwise, which means going that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to have to consult my journal because I don't know what colour it is because I haven't finished colouring the board. So here is my draft. And as we can see, this pink is the last colour we have, and 2 more, green, blue is the one we have, and we've got the little ladder ending there as well. So blue, I think, was theme card. Yes. So there we go. The last one is going to be theme card. Let's have a little root around and see what I get. Okay, I'm going for this one, and that is Fire and Flames. And I know exactly what I'm picking for this one. Yay! So this is a Tempest of Tea, and as you can see all over this cover we have got a gold foiling teapot, and we've got lots of kind of flamey patterning. It's like the steam of the tea coming out and swirling around, and in that teapot is a little drop of blood. So this is a Tempest of Tea by Hafsai Faziel. This is the Fairy Loot edition, which is gorgeous, and I am so excited because this was one of the books I was really hoping Fairy Loot would do, and I'm so pleased that they have because I really wanted to read this book. I think it sounds amazing. So a Tempest of Tea is a YA fantasy. It's an urban fantasy, it's supernatural fantasy. It's kind of got like a heist type of gang, and it's got something to do with vampires and something to do with the power of the tea and blood. And I'm trying not to read the synopsis because I'm already excited about it and I just want to go in knowing as little as possible. I'm so hyped. And I will be buddy reading this with Vadania from Vadania Silver Scribe and Chloe from Phantom of the Pages because we all get Fairy Loot, and to encourage ourselves to keep reading through our book boxes rather than just sitting on the shelves to anticipate we buddy read at least one a month. No, ideally one a month. Sometimes we have a month gap, but generally one a month. And this, we all decided, this was the March one that came through, and we were like, I just want to read that one. Yes. So there we go. That is my final book, and I am very happy with this pile. So here we go. We have Pages & Co. By Anna James, which was my new series I want to start. For an author I want to read more of, I have Uncomfortable Labels by Laura Kate Dale. And then for Worrying Worm, closest to 535 pages, 485, but it was the closest. I have Shelley Parker Chan's He Who Drowned the World, which I didn't actually talk about. I was just so obsessed with trying to find a book that fit that prompt. But He Who Drowned the World is the final book in the duology, the Radiant Emperor duology. So it follows She Who Became the Sun, which I read 2 years ago now, and I really, really enjoyed that book. It's classed as an adult fantasy, but I would say it's historical fiction with a fantastical element. This might be more fantastical, we will find out, but I'm very excited to continue with that duology. And then we finally have A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. I've not read anything by Hafsa Faisal, but I have had We Hunt the Flame on my TBR wishlist for a while, and just the synopsis of A Tempest of Tea sounded amazing. So there we go. So those are the 4 books that have been generated from bookworms and book ladders for my April TBR. But as I mentioned, there are a couple of readathons that I am involved with, so I'm going to let you know what I'm hoping to read for those readathons. Now, amazingly, I have already got 2 of my 3 books that I wanted for Transgirl April on my TBR. It just fell out there, never mind. So I wanted to read a fiction, that's the cards, a memoir, and a non-fiction sort of study within Transgirl April. So we have got He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan, which is being my fiction, and it also helps me finish up a duology and it's a book that I've been very excited for. So I've got this out the library. Shelley Parker Chan is non-binary, so I've also got a book by a non-binary author. And we have Uncomfortable Labels by Laura Kate Dale. So this is her memoir, so I wanted to read a memoir, and Laura Kate Dale is a trans woman. And then finally, the one that didn't get on the TBR is They, She, He by Shyla Baylor, which is How We Talk About Gender and Why It Matters, that I recently got during the London booktuber meetup. That's one of the books I bought. I'm very, very excited to read this. It sounds brilliant. I just started reading the first few pages in the bookshop, and I was like, well, this clearly is coming home with me because I haven't put it down. And Shyla Baylor is a trans man, so I feel like this goes across the different aspects very beautifully. So these are my 3 focus books, but ideally I would also like to squeeze a few other ones in as well. Let me just pop these on the shelf. Oh, chaos. Yeah, I haven't got my little camera stand with me because it's somewhere else. So chaos. Another book I'd like to get to, so I got this one from the library. It's I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shaira. It is a very tiny book. I think it's like 84 pages or something, and it is Vivek's just little, I think it's like a little autobiography or sort of little essay collection. On the back it says Men Are Afraid of Me. I've heard really, really good things about this. I don't think it's going to take me long to read at all, so this I'm hoping to very easily slip on there. What I really want to read but might not manage it this time around is Pet by Akweki Emezi. I may have to just like chuck this into May or June later on, but I've been wanting to read Pet for a really, really long time. It is a YA fantasy. It's set in a utopia. I think our protagonist is non-binary, and Akwaeke Emezi is a non-binary author, so I'm very keen to read this one as well. So I'm hoping I can just slip it in. We'll see if I can just slip that one in. On top of what? Fail. On top of that, I've got a load of picture books I want to read. So these I feel more confident that I'll definitely read. So I have got The Boy Who Wanted to Be a Deer by Ember White. I have already read this, but I do want to like give it like a reading focus as well. So I'm going to be reading this one, and then it will be in one of my wrap-ups. And I also have from the library, I have Phoenix Goes to School. Again, already read this, but I'm going to give it a focus. And then ones that I haven't fully read is Gender Heroes, which is it's like a page on lots of different transgender people, and just like a little mini sort of biography about them. I also want to read Understanding Transgender that I found in the library, and then a slightly older non-fiction, which is She, He, They, Them, Understanding Gender Identity. So I want to give all of those a read as well and give you my thoughts and opinions about all of those. So I'll see if I can get them on there. And for the magical readathon, Piola's is studying to be a star whisperer and a scribe. So I'm going to see if we can do both classes again, or both callings again in terms of classes. So for star whisperer, I've got 5 classes, but one of those is law, which has been interrupted, so I only need to read The Legend of Deer, which is a sheet of A4 paper, which I will read. I have already read it, but I'll read it again. And then I have these 4 books. So for Art of Illusion, I have Shadow Play, and I have Game Changer by Neil Shusterman, because it's got the word game in the title. My Zodiac recommendation, I have gone with this book, which I've already got on my TBR, He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan, because our protagonist is very adaptable and flexible in different social situations, and there is sort of like, I feel there's going to be a bit of like 2 sides kind of going on. There's also a lot of detail. I think there's a lot to talk about in these books, and I think it really suits a Gemini. I then have Inscription. I put 3 of the books I wanted to read for Transgirl April down, and what I pulled out was I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shrire. I really should work out how to say that name. So that's a very nice, easy read. So short read. So there we go. So I've got that was my Inscription choice. And then finally we have Psionics and Divination, and we're doing Prediction Bingo. Now originally I said I was going to put the my guild's group book in there, so I am of the Mindwalkers. But the 4 books, I don't know what's going to be voted on, but I decided not to vote on the 4 books just because I don't have a strong feeling and I don't feel I'm going to be reading them. So the first was Addie LaRue. So yeah, one of the books is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I've already read. Didn't quite work for me. Dune, I have no intention of reading, so I'm not going to do that to myself if that one wins. And so it was kind of like the other 2, so I looked at the other 2 that were the options. Can't remember the names of them, but one was Norse fantasy romance. Fantasy romance can be a bit hit or miss for me, and I wasn't particularly excited about it. And it's funny that we'll be to chat. I was like, I've got so many books I want to read. I don't want to be reading something I'm not that excited about. So the one I probably voted for would vote for would be the last one, but again, I don't necessarily think I'm going to read it. It sounds interesting. Oh, my battery power's low. Better wrap this up. Sounds interesting, but it's about language, and there's a slight fantasy aspect to it. But I don't know if it's going to be too much like personal drama that's not going to necessarily vibe with me. So I decided to choose a buddy read that I have coming up, which is one of the books I got on my TBR anyway. So I am doing A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal, and that's going to be my prediction bingo one. So I might get Vadania and Cloe to join in with the prediction bingos for this one, so this will be fun. And then quickly for Scribe before the battery runs out, I've got Source of Light on the cover. I can't decide what I wanted to do, but it's definitely going to be a middle grade. At the moment, I'm thinking Wilder Than Midnight by Kerry Burnell, because I've wanted to read this for ages and haven't got to it. And we have got a little window here in this tower with a sort of light from it, and we've got a few little stars, so that counts. But I also have the World Book Day, Onyeka and the Secret Superhero by Tola Akaguru, which is so small, I'm just going to be able to fit it in anyway. And obviously she's on top of Giant Sun, and it is the Sun Academy, is like the superhero school that she goes to. And I want to read, I think I need to read this before I read the third book anyway, so that works really well. And that is for Scribe Elemental Studies, Core Lightning. Then for Spells and Incantations, we had Quick Count, and I pulled out a number 10, so I had to read a book with 10 letters in the title, and I have Feet of Clay by Terry Pratchett, which is a reread for me, and I'm very excited to have a reread on here because I do want to do more rereading, and this is going to give me a lot of joy. The Scribe also includes Inscription, so this will count for Scribe as well, as will Law, which is the piece of A4 paper. So finally I have Restoration, which is a book to cure reading slumps, and the one I went for that one is also on this TBR, Pages & Co, Tilly and the Bookwanderers by Anna James, because I feel this is going to be just so joyous. It's about books, it's middle grade, that would cure a reading slump for me for sure. So here we go, here is my stack for the Magical Readathon. That is everything on there. So I've got 1, 2, I think I've got 8 books plus Onyeka, so 9, but it's so small, not really going to make much of a difference. So there we go, that is what I'm reading for the Magical Readathon. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please let me know if you have thoughts on any of these books, and if you're going to be joining in with Transgirl April or with the Magical Readathon. I love to have a chat, so please get chatty in the comments, and if you made it all the way to the end, then please do a trans flag for Transgirl April. Don't know why I did that because that's Black Lives Matter, so trans flag for Transgirl April. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.